All right, Madridistas, my fellow Madridistas, welcome back to the channel. Quick video today. Just want to go over a couple of things. Some of your comments regarding the Barca video, the Negreira video. Talk a little bit about the kind of propaganda machine at Barca. Want to talk a little bit about the Bellingham red card, Mbappe last night, and then some thoughts about the Leipzig match tonight, which is why I'm wearing the match jersey. But thanks for joining. Let's get started. All right, welcome back, fellow Madridistas. Now, before I get started, I just want to show you guys this. I just want to say thank you. I'm totally blown away. We're in something like 85, 86 countries now, which is unbelievable. I mean, we're in every continent, every corner of the world. We're a young channel. We're a small channel, but growing. But I think the geographic footprint is unbelievable. So I have you guys to thank for that. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. This is so much fun. All right, let's get started. Now, I want to talk about some of the comments that you guys made regarding, the video yesterday about Negreira. And a lot of you mentioned that, there does seem to be a propaganda war. There's just so much propaganda around Barca. And all I have to say is it's absolutely true. I mean, I follow, some of the press around Barcelona, some of the YouTubers, etc. And it is like a reality distortion bubble. I mean, they live in a parallel universe. Everything is sort of hyperbolically positive. There's no room for any criticism. A couple of YouTubers that have tried to be critical have gotten completely shut down. So there is a propaganda machine. I mean, it's been widely reported that Barca for years has been paying, journalists to kind of, avoid certain themes and emphasize certain other themes. I mean, there is definitely a propaganda machine. And I think the concerning issue is that the gap between narrative and reality at Barcelona has gotten so wide that it's unsustainable. So I'm concerned about the financial situation of the club. Nobody really understands how it's sustainable. I mean, they've been selling assets, which are basically future revenues, to try to double down on today. And it's a very risky strategy. It's a bit like sitting at a blackjack table and betting the house on the next card. I would be very surprised if in 2 or 3 years Barca remained a member-owned club, because I just don't find it sustainable. But you will never hear any of this criticism in Barca circles. So to answer your question, yes, there is a propaganda machine out there. We're going to stick to what we do, which is to be more critical about our club than anybody else. When we play like shit, we are the first people to say it. When one of our players plays like, we are the first people to criticize it. If we make a bad decision, we are I think our ability to criticize ourselves is what makes us who we are. So they can do whatever they want. We'll continue to be who we are. And I much prefer it this way. Okay. Now, one comment I want to make about the Bellingham red card, because we have figured out what Jude said in Mestalla. They got him a red card from Gil Manzano. And let me just say, it's preposterous, okay? Because this is exactly what Jude said. Jude said, it's a fucking goal. Now, the word, when you're using fucking in this context, it's an adverb, it's an adjective. He's not insulting the ref. He's saying it's a fucking goal. So let me translate this for Gil Manzano, who doesn't speak a word of English. Lo que dijo Jude es un jodido gol. Not more, not less. That's what he said. So I doubt very much that the Federation will withdraw the red card, because they're out to screw us over in any way they can. That's been established. So I doubt that they're going to do us any favors. But Jude did absolutely nothing to deserve that red card. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention before we get onto the Leipzig match. I don't know if you guys saw Mbappe last night against Real Sociedad. I mean, the 2 goals that he scored, listen, I'm one of the persons that is still very hurt by what he did to us 2 years ago. But let's be honest here. This player is a monster. I mean, he is a monster. I think he's the best in the world. He's a killer. He's a killer, and he can change a game on a dime. And every time he receives the ball, it's just, you can just feel the danger. We need to start warming up to this kid because, when he comes, I think he can bring us a lot of glory. So I just wanted to mention that. If you haven't seen the goals, please, find them and watch them. Really amazing. Okay, now let's talk about the the upcoming Leipzig match. I'll be attending tonight. I'll take a cool clip for you guys of the anthem, which always gives me goosebumps. But I watched the press conference with Ancelotti and Camavinga, and I have to say it was really cool to see Camavinga in that kind of leadership role. I think he did a really, really good job. He was very mature. He's a very young player. I think he's like 23, 22, 23. But he is a leader in the team. He kind of shows it on the pitch. I think Ancelotti, it was very smart of him to give Eduardo this kind of exposure because he is becoming a team leader, and I think he handled it really, really well. I mean, the press kept trying to divert questions to Mbappe or Vini's behavior and is Vini provocative? All these ridiculous narratives that journalists in Spain are probably paid to throw out there. But Camavinga did a great job of sticking to the subject at hand, to talking about Leipzig, talking about their what is required this evening. And when he was asked about Vini, about do you ever talk to him because to tell him to not provoke other play? I mean, the typical narrative bullshit that they keep selling here. Camavinga answered beautifully. He said, I don't need to tell Vini anything because I just want him to keep doing what he does because he's an amazing player and he scores goals and he wins games for us every time. It was the perfect answer. So I think he did a great job. In terms of the match itself, Ancelotti really emphasized the defensive aspect. We do need to improve. I think in the last few games, defensively, we have been soft. And I think, he says that they've been working on that specifically, which I think makes a lot of sense. So hopefully we will see a more solid defensive performance tonight. Now, in terms of the lineup, this is what I think is going to happen. It'll probably be the same lineup as against Valencia in Mestalla. Now, my only doubt is whether he will go with Rodrigo or Brahim. There's a big segment of Madridistas, and many of you, who think that Brahim should start because Rodrigo has been lukewarm lately. So that's probably my only doubt. But I do think that we're going to go with Mendy, Tchouaméni, Rudiger, Carvajal in the back, and then that leaves the midfield for Kroos, Camavinga, Valverde, and Jude. And then up front, Vini, probably Rodrigo, but possibly Brahim. So that's what I think will be the lineup. Again, you can never take these matches for granted. The one goal away, as you know, they don't count double anymore. In the case of ties, it's just a goal. Leipzig has the capability of scoring and evening things up very quickly. All it takes is one mistake. Look, when we know better than any other club what it takes to win the Champions League. And you need to be very, very good, and you need to be very concentrated, and you need to be lucky. So we don't take anything for granted. I think we're going to be very focused, especially defensively. But that's what I'm expecting. Like I say, after the match, I'll give you guys a post, some of my thoughts, and I'll throw in a little clip of the anthem at the beginning of the match. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, a la Madrid.